Hi everybody, welcome to Meandmygolf. We're your coaches, Andy and Piers. Now we wanted to find out from the Tour Pro, what's the best tip that they've ever had? So we reached out to some of the best players in the world, including major champions, to share that with you guys. But before we get into these world-class golfers, Piers, what's the best tip you've ever had?
Yeah, thanks for that, mate. All right, this was really difficult for me, but I'm gonna actually combine two tips that I got at the same time. One from my coach at the time, Les Burleson at Oxley Park Golf Club, where I used to work. And the other one from Fred Foster, who's actually an amateur golfer, a member there, 4-5 handicapper, but a very wise golfer indeed. So at Oxley, when I was a 6 or 7 handicapper, I used to drive the golf ball really well. I wish I still did. But my irons I would struggle with. I'd struggle with strike. I'd hit the ground before the golf ball. My low point would be too early. It wouldn't be late enough in the downswings when I was striking the golf ball. So what we worked at with Les, this is the drill from Les first of all, was that we knew that my right wrist was straightening out early in the downswing. So we just did some one-arm swings, and I did this for a good few months, keeping the right hand bent, and then from there, turning the body on the way down and keeping the right wrist bent for as long as I could, but making sure when I did this that I would square the face up. A lot of golfers, when they do this, come in like this and get the face open. That's going to shank it for you. We want to get the face squared up. So I would work at that drill a lot. And then from there, I'd couple it up with hitting some sort of 110-yard 7-irons, little sort of real low drill shots, working really hard at keeping that bend in the wrist for as long as possible. Okay, now the next one, Fred Foster. I got this tip on the 8th hole at Oxley Park, just playing with him on a Tuesday night. I remember it vividly now. And I was telling him about what I was trying to do with the low point. He says, oh, why don't you try this out? So we put a tee peg in the ground. So I addressed the tee peg, and then he put another tee peg in a grip length target side of that first tee peg. My normal ball position would be there for the first tee peg. And all he would say to me is, make sure you hit both tees out of the ground. And we got to the point where I could tee it quite low, this second tee especially, and I could still hit it. But the good thing about this was, it made me shift into my left leg. It made me extend my arms. It made me get my right wrist and keep it bent for longer and then release it at the exact correct time, the latest time I could in my golf swing. And this was a game changer for me, coupling those two drills together, struck the golf ball really well then after a couple of months of this training, and I was able to continue that now, I suppose, and still strike it half decent now. All right, let's have a go hitting these two, see if I've still got it. Hopefully I've still got it, Fred. Yeah, no problem. So really good drill if you need to get that low point later and you want to strike your irons better. Now, we're interested to know, comment down below which tip has helped you the most in your game. Now it's time for some golfers who are a little bit better than me, and definitely a lot better than Andy.
Hi everyone, Henrik here from Orlando, Florida. One of the best tips on chipping that I ever received is from my coach, Peter Cowan. And he told me to put the club up more vertical, turn the toe in a little bit, which gives you the strike right out here on the toe. You're gonna hit like almost a little draw and the ball's gonna release. But the most benefit is that if the ball's sitting down a little bit or you got into the grain, you got only that little part of the club that can grab the ground and the heel is up in the air. So I get in pretty tight, get the club up like this, and then almost make a putting motion, and the ball's gonna run out like a putt and you get a cleaner strike. So try that at home, stay safe and healthy.
Hi everyone, Bernd Wiesberger here, and the one best tip I have received as a golf professional was to go out there every day, see every day, every shot is a new challenge, a new possibility to do your best, enjoy it as much as you can while you do it. It's a great job we have, the best in the world, to go out there and compete with the best players in the world, and I cherish that, and I'm very lucky to do so. Obviously now it's a tough time for all of us, not being able to play for us, but hard times for everyone. I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy, and hopefully we'll see you on the golf course very soon again.
Hi everyone, so the best golf tip I've ever had was from Peter Cowan. It was when I first started seeing him way back in 1995, and I used to have a lot of up and down movement in my golf swing. My head still drops a little bit, but I used to tilt my shoulders a little bit like this, and the left knee used to drop a little bit, my left hip did. And the tip he gave me was to think of levels. So you've got a knee level, a hip level, shoulder level, obviously a head level. Your head should stay on an imaginary shelf, and it can move this way and this way, but it doesn't want to be going underneath the shelf. And the hips and the shoulders and the knees, they all want to stay on the same level as well when you turn. So you want to turn very much this way. Don't want to see any of this kind of movement and then into the ball, this kind of movement. It wants to be, you're trying to keep your levels with your shoulders, your hips, your knees, and through the ball as well. A good way of practicing that is by getting a wedge or a sand wedge. This is a sand wedge, teeing the ball up quite high, and then trying to clip the ball off the top. If you go down this way, you'll come down too steep on it, it'll go up. If you get up this way, where you're losing your levels with your shoulders, it'll go too high, and it'll just encourage you to stay level and flip it off the top, and you'll see the ball come out low, and you'll hit it out the middle of the club. If you lose your levels, you'll either hit it out the front edge or out the back of the club. So that's the best tip I've ever had. And remember, stay safe and stay at home.
Hi everybody, I hope you're safe and well, and everyone in your families are doing okay too. My best bit of advice that I've ever been given is from another AP ambassador, Darren Clarke. Not that we do this very well ourselves, but we try our best. His best advice came from someone of great history in golf, Walter Hagen, who said he's allowed 7 mistakes on the golf course, 7 bad shots. So whenever he hits a bad shot, he goes one of his 7. Darren actually told me this in India the week that I went on to win, and ultimately managed to get the AP logo on my shirt that week. As you see in pictures, I don't have the AP logo on the shirt, but I have the watch in the photos and stuff. So that was the start of my career and my family with AP, and I'm very, very lucky to have Darren as a friend and have the advice from him.
Hello everyone, here Miguel Ángel Jiménez. I hope you are staying safe. I have the best tip I ever have in my life is from my brother Juan, and is that: through the ball, get in position and hitting through the ball, determination. I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to explain to you that sometimes you have people with a little bit more flat swing, more upright swing, but always, as you see all the good players, the more important thing, and the best they do is the way they stay on top of the ball, through the ball. And for me, that is probably the best tip I ever had. Watch. We're going to take the target. We're going to get that lovely palm tree in line with that orange thing there. And now, just commit to the shot. Address, position, rhythm, and through the ball. That's the main thing.
Danny Willett here. I hope everyone's at home staying safe. As you can see, I'm in my garage, which the kids have taken over with makeshift castles and cardboard boxes and bikes and everything, but whilst we're in this together, we can still do a bit of practice. So one of the best things I like to do when I'm inside, which is really simple, you can see here I've just got 2 sleeves of 3 balls on the floor, and all I've done is I've put them just a little bit wider than my putter head. And what this is going to allow me to do is really have a good sense of where straight and where square is through the impact zone. So you don't need to hit a putt that far. As you can see, I put my head cover, because the garage is sloped a little bit, it's obviously going to run off to the right. And all I'll do here is I can stand in, nice solid posture, and I'll just have a nice few practice strokes. Nice and steady through these boxes. And what you can see would happen is if your stroke wasn't how you wanted it to be, you take it outside, you might hit one of them. Or if you come over the top, you might hit the other. So the whole aim is that you can stand there and that you can stroke these nicely through this gap, just at a really nice rhythm and tempo, and it really gives you a nice feel of how that kind of come off. So I like to put the ball at the front of this to make sure that the putter's been square all the way through. So we put it at the front of it, take our address, and hit a putt. Something really simple to do just when you're in your living room, wherever you are around. As you can see, I'm fortunate if I've set up a mat in the garage. But yeah, something really simple to help you put in over this period. Stay safe, everyone.
Hi everyone. Best tip I've ever received was from my psychologist, Lee Crumbleholm, and the moment he gave me this tip, it took a long time for me to sort of perfect it, resonate it into my game, and it was, you know, the only thing I can control when I'm out on the golf course is myself. I can't control what anyone else is doing. I can't control where the ball bounces. I can't control how much the wind affects it. You know, all these things I cannot control. The only thing I can control is myself, is how I handle myself, how I react to things. And it is the best bit of advice I've ever had, because I know, you know, the days when I can control myself that well, you know, is the days where I'm going to perform my best. So, yeah, I think that is, it sounds like one of the easiest things to do, but it's so difficult to control yourself. You know how you get on the golf course, you see a little bit of bad luck and you get a little bit upset. I'm sure you've seen me do that many a times on the golf course, but again, it's the hardest thing to put right on the golf course. If you can handle yourself very professionally and even have a laugh about getting a bit of bad luck or something, you know, you approach the next shot in a completely different frame of mind to the one that you did, you know, if you're fuming or a little bit frustrated with it. So that's the best bit of advice I've got. I hope everyone's well and safe at home. Let's get through this all together, guys. I wish you all well. Stay safe, guys. Stay at home.
Okay, last but not least, some great tips so far. I hope you've been taking some notes. So the best tip I ever had, I would say it's a combination of two tips, and that is play with the game that you have that day. So if you get to the driving range on that morning you're about to play and everything's a fade, you may be just peeling a few to the right, play with that. Don't try and fix that out on the golf course. That might mean that you need to aim down the left side of the fairway or the left half of the green when you're playing the shots. But if you do that, you're going to play golf instead of actually trying to fix a certain shot when you're out there. And when you get out on the golf course, I used to make the mistake of hitting a bad shot, let's say off the first tee, hitting it right. I'd get on the next tee and try and correct that shot, then I'd hit it left. On the third tee, what do you then do? And then you get in a battle of trying to change your technique all the time, instead of just getting to the golf course, understanding the game that you've got that day, and actually just playing golf and plotting your way around the golf course as best you can. So whatever game you've got that morning, whatever shot shape you've got, use that, use it to your advantage, and just play golf instead of trying to fix the shots and the ball flight out on the golf course. That's the best tip I've ever had that I can share with you. And it's interesting, loads of great tips there from obviously unbelievably world-class golfers. And it's interesting that a lot of those were mindset tips as well. It just so happens, or it just shows how important it is to actually get between the ears right as well. So, hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to get your feedback. What was your favourite tip out of all these? Make sure you comment down below, let us know. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like, and don't forget to subscribe for videos like this every single week to help your game.
Yeah, now look, we know that times are tough at the moment. So what we have done at Meandmygolf is we've extended our 7-day free trial to 30 days. So a 30-day free trial. This is where we have our premier content. So this is where you come to us and we coach you through whatever you need to work out in your games. And we also unlocked 3 of our best coaching plans: simple secrets to low scores, flexible in 15, and how to play the basics. So make sure you go and check that out. Click the link down below. And also a massive thank you to the AUDEMARS PIGUET ambassadors for doing those videos for us. It really means a lot that we can get those and we can obviously push out this message to everybody, because I think there's so many people around the world who are doing such an amazing job in these tough times. Doctors, nurses, all the professionals that are helping us through these tough times. And also for yourselves at home, stay safe, stay at home where you can. Obviously listen to what your governments are telling you, and hopefully we can get through this relatively quickly without too much harm done. And we look forward to seeing you on the golf course soon. Thanks a lot.